everyone, welcome to Simply Football post-match analysis on FC Goa TV. You are watching Prudent and I am Neeraj Prabhu. FC Goa are back to the top of the table on points, locked with Bengaluru FC and Chennai FC with 9 points from 4 games. With 13 goals to their credit, FC Goa should be sitting pretty at the top, but having considered 9 goals, they are just a wee bit lower than Bengaluru FC with regards to their goal difference. This is an attacking machine with some problems in defense. FC Goa are indeed. Sergio Lopez, the coach, has really put in place a wonderfully attacking set, but he admits there are some problems in defense. Nevertheless, Ferran Corominas and Manuel Lanzarote are really on fire. Yesterday we saw Coro completing his second back-to-back hat-trick to set a record in the ISL history. It was also fastest hat-trick for Corominas in his footballing career. Within 7 minutes in the second half, Coro tore Kerala Blasters to shreds as he scored those wonderful goals with great service from the central midfield, with Ahmed Jahu and Brandon Fernandes picking him out with beautifully crafted through balls right down the center of the field. So it was a tremendous match where FC Goa hammered Kerala Blasters by 5 goals to 2. And today in our program, let us welcome former India striker Francis de Sousa, who is absolutely delighted to witness this wonderfully entertaining performance by the Gors. Francis, they are making a habit of scoring a lot of goals and keeping all the Goans, the FC Goa fans excited.
Coro has sent the home fans into some sort of seventh heaven.
Yeah.
He has been the goal scoring machine.
Right.
And we should now brand him as a surgical striker.
Absolutely. Wonderfully said. And Lanzarote, he is also amazing. He could have easily got a hat-trick himself if that beautiful left footer in the second half hadn't struck the crossbar.
Yes, the efforts will always be so dangerous. They are class footballers, and it's evident by the display, the 7 minutes hurricane that came from FC Goa, and like you said very rightly, shredded Kerala Blasters defense to pieces, and the man behind this, the ever glowing Coro.
Coro is such a humble striker that he just seems to be shy to come out and give those interviews. He's very modest, and he was there after having scored this brilliant hat-trick, and he was a man of very few words in the post-match press conference. Nevertheless, such kind of foreign players are a great advertisement for ISL, isn't it?
Yeah, it's also for a lesson for our Indian players, how cool and composed they have to be and how technically sound they have to
Absolutely.
be. You see, the temperament is there, the technical ability is there, and to crown it all, he does it with perfection, and that's the hallmark of a great player.
And simply, he doesn't have any air about him, never creates a fuss. He's so easy and down to earth kind of a guy.
Yeah, I mean that's what he displays in his performance. If you see him, the way he finishes the ball after going through like a knife on the butter cake, so that's how he has performed, and it's a delight for the home fans to watch. And Neeraj, it's become a habit to see 7 goals in a match. What more can the crowd ask for?
What do you think was the essential difference between both the teams last night?
I think the philosophy that Lobero is using has worked tremendously well for him. It's a total teamwork contribution. You see the possession football that they are playing in the midfield, which they go to the width of the field, and then they find that the defense is flatter, and then you see this penetrative passes by Jahu and Manuel
as well.
Edu Bedia. They are the precious workers, the most talented workers behind the scene, who control the midfield and create those chances. They are not coming into limelight like Koro or Manuel Lazarate.
Right.
See, these are the fellows who work behind the scene, and they work with perfection. And the ability, the coordination, the technical ability, and the vision is just exceptional.
Right. The match, however, started on a shaky footing for FC Goa as they conceded the first goal. There is definitely some problem in the defense there because Sefianos got behind the central defender and took that position while receiving the cross and got the ball down, and he finished with the inside of his foot, and not a very full-blooded shot as well. Goalkeeper captain Lakshmikant Kattimani found wanting again, so defense and goalkeeping is a bit of a weak area for FC Goa.
That's a question that I think Lobero will have to work on.
Yeah.
But whatever shortcomings in the defense, they always have a thing at the back of their mind that the goalkeeper will rise to the occasion. But in this case, Kattimani has not been doing quite well. I mean, I think his technique has been faulty. He should have got both hands behind the ball because it was a feeble try, which everyone has accepted. Should have been taken very well by Kattimani and saved the team from the early blushes.
Right. Nevertheless, to the credit of Kattimani, towards the end of the game, he made a couple of very important interventions that prevented Kerala Blasters from reducing the margin.
Kattimani is a good goalkeeper, and what his coach believes in him is true. But it is left up to him to get his confidence back and show everyone that he is still the best goalkeeper, and display the faith that his coach has in him.
Right, so 5-2 may not be the proper reflection of a quality outfit like Kerala Blasters. From footballing sense, we have to agree to that because they were handicapped after the early injury setback to Dimitar Berbatov, while Ian Hume didn't play the game because he was injured, and CK Vineet was suspended for this game. Let's now listen into their coach Rene Meulenstein first and see what he has to say about the game.
So, after Berbatov pulled up with the injury so early, was that a big setback that your side never recovered from?
It was definitely a big setback. You can see now sort of how important he's been. He's been sort of a bit of a catalyst to keep the composure, the quality of the team when you need it. So yeah, it's a big setback. You're not entirely sure, but I know Berbatov really, really well, and he's not a a soft player, so to speak. So I'm sure there's definitely something wrong. What extent we have to find out, but he wouldn't come off and it wouldn't be serious. Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Coach. You insisted on your team playing out from the back, but once Berba went off as well, do you think that in an away game such as this, that really, especially with just one defensive midfielder and Arata, I think that didn't quite get played into Goa's hands?
Well, obviously the fact that Berba had to come off was obviously a big problem. But we didn't handle this well because we are always very clearly, we have to look at what the opposition does. And the first thing that you don't want is to play yourself into trouble. So if you see that another team is pressing very high and aggressively, then our main strategy is to say, listen, relay the press, because when they have moved, you probably have a high line. So then can we get the ball in the opposition half and then basically press from there? We couldn't get that message across quick enough. We tried. It was a bit of a frantic start as well. We got in front, they scored, and then whilst we playing out from the back, basically from our own mistake, they scored 2-1, and only then we got a little bit of a chance to say, listen, stop playing out from the back because it doesn't help us. And then we got back in the game again, 2.5 times. So it was a really strange sort of game first half. I don't think it was great from either end, because basically it was 4 mistakes that led to 2 goals from us and 2 goals from them. Good finishes, but that was by the by. And then you had 7 minutes of total torture. You can see 3 goals in 7 minutes, which is really not done, especially in terms of the fact of how we've been defending recently. So that was basically one of the things that we had our house in order. And then it's going to be obviously very, very difficult if you get one back. Okay, fine, no problem, because that was sort of the game. But if you concede 3 and 7, then there's almost no way back. And still, there were opportunities for us to score 2 or 3 goals. That was how strange the game was, and basically a little bit also how strange the ISL is. Great viewing for the goal supporters, great viewing for the neutral supporters. But we have to go back, reflect, you know, and really drink this, you know, this poisonous very quickly and move on. So, but it's football.
In the Dutch tactician of Kerala Blasters, he has praised FC Goa, especially the central midfielders Jahu, Bedia and Lanzarote. He described them as very high caliber footballers, and he also accepted that FC Goa tortured them in that period of 7 minutes when Koro just toyed with his defense.
Yes, Neeraj, I mean, it's a well-oiled machine that was working to perfection. You have hardly seen any missed passes, any wrong passes. And don't forget, they were heavily supported by Mandar and Brandon. And even to the extent that Narayan Das came and helped them in the attack from the wings. And that shows the stability in the midfield, the control in the midfield. And that's what is working for FC Goa. Although they are short on the defensive ability, but all in all, this Bedia and Edu covers up a lot of ground. Yeah, Jahu, you see, covers up a lot of ground and makes things easier for the defense. Otherwise, I think defense would have been more in trouble. But the philosophy of ball possession has worked very well for Lobero.
Absolutely. And one of the most striking feature of Edu or Jahu for that matter is the early release of the ball, how they set the goal scorers with early release of the ball. I think our Indian players are yet to learn the technique of releasing the ball as early as possible.
Yes, because what happens is there should be always surprise or deceit in the pass. And when you approach the attacking third, everybody accepts a pass. But if you do it deep in your own midfield, the pass is always a surprise. And that what catches the opponents off guard. And that's what has happened in a number of matches. If you recollect the matches versus Chennai against Bangalore, and this is the third match, it has been a consistent display of those defense splitting pass from deep within their half. Which understanding has been created by Koro, Manuel, Edu and Bedia. So that is what has happened.
Right.
And that is what is becoming very productive for the team.
Also, to be fair and sympathize with Kerala Blasters, I think Berbatov's injury in the 2nd or 3rd minute was a big setback that they never really recovered from, and coach Muhlenstein has agreed that they are relying too much on Berbatov.
Yes, what has happened with the Kerala Blasters, that they were not able to have control over the ball in their midfield.
Absolutely.
And Berbatov was the man who would control the midfield and set up his forwards and give assistance to his defense. So that link was lost.
Yes.
And that's how they were in a problem. And with Yoon Hume not being there, even Vinit not being there, I mean, that was the trump card. Berbatov was the trump card to play that way. So they had come with a strategy of playing Berbatov a little deep behind the forwards.
Yes.
And unfortunately, he suffered that injury.
So with now the extent of Berbatov's calf injury not known, and if it is serious, he would miss those games, and Muhlenstein will have to tweak his strategy to make a different sort of plan with like replacement not available for Berbatov.
Yes, I mean the coach is so dependent on his players. Whatever strategy, whatever planning he uses systems is all depending on the availability of the players. We are lucky enough, FC Goa, that we still have all these players in shape, because any injury to 1 or 2 players will definitely make them lose their rhythm in the game. So let's keep our fingers crossed so that they keep on fit as as expected.
Absolutely. As the tournament progresses, injuries and suspensions do come into the picture, and that makes the coach's role very important so as to keep his reserves in proper shape and ready to come whenever they need to answer the call. So let's now listen into Coach Sergio Lopez on his thoughts about the performance. But first, the hat-trick hero Corominas coming your way.
Or the first, the fastest hat trick in the ISL. What are your views on that?
Bueno, me han venido las ocasiones seguidas y he intentado aprovecharlas y afortunadamente pues han entrado y también ha sido el hat-trick más rápido de mi carrera, o sea que bueno, contento por haber ayudado al equipo y sobre todo por la victoria.
The chances came one after the other. My aim was to just try and take advantage of the ones that were coming my way, and then thankfully, they all went in. Not just the fastest hat-trick in ISL this year, but it's also the fastest hat-trick for me in my career. So very happy with to have scored.
Hi, Gaurav Garanil from the ISL social media. Hat-trick in the last game, hat-trick today, top goal scorer. How good are you feeling?
Pues muy contento de poder marcar goles, ayudar al equipo y creo que la gente que viene al campo está contenta, se lo pasa bien y es nuestra función, ¿no? Marcar goles, que se lo pasen bien y ganar partidos.
Obviously very happy to have scored the goals and contributed to the team's win. As long as the team is winning, I'm happy. I'm also very happy that, because our primary function as a team is to entertain the fans. And I think we've seen that the fans have come to the stadium to enjoy themselves. So very happy to have scored and contributed to the team's win.
Your team looks good driving forward, but the problems at the back persist.
Sí, bueno, es verdad que es un aspecto que tenemos que mejorar. Yo creo que llevamos 13 goles a favor en 4 partidos. Esos números a nivel ofensivo creo que son muy buenos, pero a nivel defensivo es verdad que estamos cometiendo errores. Y cuando digo defensivo no me refiero a la línea defensiva, me refiero a nivel colectivo de todo el equipo. Somos un equipo que juega muy abierto, que asume riesgos, pero es verdad que en ese aspecto tenemos que mejorar.
It is true that this is something that we need to work on. We have scored 13 goals so far in the league, so this is something that we should be proud of as well. It shows a lot of attacking potency within our team. But yes, obviously defense is something that we need to work on. And when I say defense, I'm not just talking about the backline, I'm talking about the collective effort as a whole. But we're a team, that looks to open up play and take risks. So this is sometimes it's likely to happen, but it is something that we will work on.
Defense includes the goalkeeper as well.
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Defense includes the goalkeeper as well, as 2 first goals were very soft goals.
Incluye todo el equipo. Yo creo que cuando el equipo defensivamente no está bien, el primero que tiene que asumir la responsabilidad es su entrenador. Y después todo el equipo que es el que está jugando en el terreno del juego. No, más allá de aspectos individuales, yo creo que somos todos los que estamos encajando goles y todos los que tenemos que mejorar.
Defense doesn't not just only include the goalkeeper, like you said, it includes the entire team as well. When the team is not doing well defensively, the first person who has to take responsibility for it is the coach. What we have to do is try and improve on the mistakes that we've made so far, and then work together collectively to assume responsibility for what has happened so far, and look to improve our performance defensively.
Hello coach, I know it's too early to ask this question, but looking at the way FC Goa has played so far in ISL so far, how do you fancy your chances to go all the way to the tournament?
Yo ahora solo veo Delhi, que es el siguiente partido. Yo creo que al final estar pensando dónde estaremos dentro de unos meses no nos va a ayudar a concentrarnos en lo que nos tenemos que concentrar, que es ir partido a partido, preparar el siguiente partido de la mejor forma posible. Y lo dije el otro día y lo repito ahora, yo no soy quien corte la ilusión de la gente, porque me encanta ver el estadio así, me encanta ver la gente ilusionada, me encanta que Goa esté de la forma que está. Pero tenemos que tener los pies en el suelo y tenemos que trabajar mucho aún para poder conseguir lo que todos queremos, Entonces yo creo que lo que tenemos que hacer ahora es disfrutar de esta victoria, pero mañana ya empezar a pensar en el partido de
My next aim is Delhi. I'm not looking too far ahead, like I I said, by looking too far ahead, you are likely to lose your objective. So it's not something we're going to lose our focus on. It's about working hard and ensure that we're ready for the next possible game and prepare in the best possible way. Having said that, I don't want the people of Goa to sort of I don't want to be a letdown as such, and die down the excitement for the fans. We need to, obviously we want the fans to, be excited, and the stadium we saw today that people were excited. This is what we want from the fans. When the atmosphere is like that, it's something different altogether. So we're very happy for that. But we need to keep our feet on the ground and ensure we keep working hard. Tonight we'll enjoy the victory, but tomorrow morning we get back to work.
One speciality of this Spanish coach is that he is not singling out the defense as his backline or his goalkeeper. He says the entire unit must help the defense and not conceding more goals like this.
Yeah, his philosophy has been ball possession.
Yes.
The moment you lose the ball, you give an opportunity for the opponents to attack you. And if you are not putting yourself in good positions, you are going to make things easier for the opponents. So ball possession helps you to cover up your weaknesses. But in this case, the defense has showed little weakness and they have considered goals. That will be set right as the tournament progresses. With the confidence, we have 3 Indian players playing in the defense. They need the temperament, they need the confidence, and the coach is very rightly backing them up, because his strength is his attack, and that's his philosophy. So as long as the team is winning, I don't see why should the coach be blaming everybody else,
right,
and then creating a crisis for himself.
I asked him during the press conference whether he would like to experiment, because other players also need to be kept fit with match fitness as such. So would he like to experiment? And he said that it's not ideal to tinker too much with the team at this stage.
Yes, very true. The coach's philosophy is always one which is established. Don't interfere with the winning combination. Once you do that, you always have a problem, even if you would like to try out your players. But he knows his mind very well, what he is doing, and I'm sure that these players who have this philosophy of ball possession and attacking, he is confident of the players that are playing there, so he doesn't want to interfere too much with the setup as they are progressing in the tournament.
There are some miscoordination issues with regards to defenders, and one of the consistent error prone defender has been Mohammad Ali. Although he's young, he's making those half-hearted touches or half-hearted passes, and we saw yesterday as one of his pass intended for Lanzarote towards the middle of the park was intercepted by a rival player, and it resulted in the equalizer before the half time. So Mohammad Ali seems like he's short of confidence, but he has potential, as we saw in the game in the second half. But what does a player like Mohammad Ali need to become a flawless player?
It's down to the basics again, Neeraj. When you have your if you are playing as a wing back or a stopper back, if you have moved little to the wing, there is a principle that you will never pass the ball into the middle of the park, which is very dangerous. You either toss the ball right into the opponent's attacking third, or play it down the wings or the touch line, which is more safer, and you have time to recover and face the ball. But if you play a flat ball, a square ball, it's very dangerous. And I'm sure Mohammad Ali has the capability to become a very good stopper back, because
he's a ball-playing defender.
Yeah,
as well.
His body language says so.
It's wonderful.
So mistakes are part of the game. But as long as the team is not losing, like I said once again, they can always be forgiven. But then he should learn from the mistakes he makes, right, and that's how a player becomes good. And that's what I think he should concentrate on, and forget about what has happened in the last game.
Right. Coach Lobera and Corominas praised the fans of FC Goa for coming in big numbers, and they are happy that the fans have been entertained to the core, and they have gone home with their money's worth. Some word on the fans now. Over 18,000 spectators have been coming to the games in 2 consecutive matches. So it's now a feeling perhaps that yes, this is indeed my club, because there was some bitterness, some negativity when there was a ownership change, but it seems to be now the best football, the beautiful game has won over everybody in Goa.
Neeraj, I'm with the supporters, I'm with the fans, and being a player myself, I know what it takes when the fans are behind you. You know, you get that extra adrenaline flowing into you.
Right.
You want to perform for the fans, and very rightly so. You see, Koro has come up with the backing of these fans, and he has produced some brilliant football for the fans to be delighted. I mean, it's the fans that keep you motivated. It is the fans that drive you to such scintillating performances.
Wonderful, but we will all have to wait for a couple of weeks now for the home games to return, because the next match for FC Goa is away at Delhi Dynamos on Saturday. Francis, it's been pleasure having you with us as always. Wonderful insight into the beautiful game, and it enhances all our knowledge of viewers as well. Loving this program. Pleasure having you here.
I think I should also say a big thank you for the fans of FC Goa.
Right.
Keep continuing supporting FC Goa. That loud noise you make at the stadium, it should be even more louder, so that Koro scores 3 hat-trick in one match. That's what we will be delighted for.
Absolutely. It's an amazing atmosphere at Fadoda. Those who haven't been there must make it a point to go and watch this spectacle unfold at the Fortress Fadoda. And you'll have to wait for 23rd December for that to happen. Nevertheless, that's all the time we have in this post-match analysis program. Keep watching Prudent for continuous coverage of FC Goa's campaign in ISL 4. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.